print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More. Tasmania lacks clear standards for dealing with vulnerable children, Children's Commissioner says. Tasmania's interim Children's Commissioner has joined the call to set formal standards for the state's out-of-home care system. The appeal comes a day after the ABC revealed allegations about a private provider delivering inappropriate care to vulnerable children with disabilities. Allegations against Total Support Services, TSS, include claims the for-profit provider exposed children to inappropriate discipline, resulting in escalating behaviors that contributed to the hospitalization of a teenager in its care. TSS has been paid almost $744,000 by the state government since January 2017. The Tasmanian Council of Social Services has said Tasmania is lagging behind other jurisdictions in regulating the out-of-home care sector. Now Tasmania's Interim Commissioner for Children and Young People, David Clements, has added his voice to the calls for a set of standards to be implemented as soon as possible. Standards are one way of ensuring that providers know what they could or should be doing that are in the best interests of children, he said. Mr. Clements said the government had committed to introducing a quality and accountability framework that would include agreed standards for the treatment of children in out-of-home care. I've been quite vocal to government for the need for that work to occur, he said. I understand that they are very aware of this and are making moves to ensure those standards are put in place relatively soon. He said Tasmania has a Charter of Rights for Children in Out-of-Home Care, which guides providers. In January 2017, the former Children's Commissioner, Mark Morrissey, recommended the implementation of standards after allegations of neglect were leveled at for-profit providers. Safe pathways. We need to move towards a model where there are many more professionally qualified staff employed and involved in their day-to-day care than currently exist, he said. There are no guiding principles. Mr. Clements is in the process of establishing an independent and systemic out-of-home care monitoring program. It aims to make the out-of-home care system in Tasmania more accountable through stronger oversight, he said. Trista Cocker, the Tasmanian representative for the National Association for Prevention of Child Abuse and Neglect, said Victoria had a law around child-safe standards for organisations involved with children. Here we've got some really big organisations which don't even have any sort of guiding principles, she said. So what we're looking at here is actually developing something which is a common language for everybody. Ms. Cocker said she was pleased progress was being made around formal standards and the monitoring for out-of-home care. We've implemented substantive reforms. Opposition spokeswoman Michelle O'Byrne, a former Minister for Children, said if Tasmania had standards and the monitoring of out-of-home care, then it would have been less likely that allegations such as the ones levelled at TSS would have occurred. The minister and government have to be more responsible for these children, she said. We have to have a better monitoring system and we need to really think about whether continuing to use private services that they cannot monitor is in the best interests of Tasmanian children. When asked why Tasmania did not yet have a set of standards for out-of-home care, Premier Will Hodgman said he would need to check on the status of that claim. We will certainly do whatever we can to better support Tasmanians at risk, Mr. Hodgman said. We have implemented substantive reforms. We have redesigned a child protection system that's failed and put in additional resources to protect Tasmanian children, and if we can do things better, of course we will. The Premier said his government acknowledged that the failing child protection system needed a major overhaul. It can't happen overnight, but we have put additional resources in. We're improving process.